listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.
Thank you for listening to Community Forum. I'm Hattie here in the Mountain Lion studio, and I am here with Hannah from Teens in Action, which is part of the, let me see if I can get it right, Carlsbad Anti-Gang Anti-Drug Coalition.
Yes, ma'am.
Sweet.
Yes, and hello. I'm glad to be here.
We always love having you in the studio. So tell me first, because, I'm still new here. I've only been here a little over a year. And I see your signs and I see your programs like the cool locks for the safes for people to keep their substances away from their children. I love that.
Yes.
I love that. So tell me a little bit about the coalition itself, and then we'll get into your program.
Perfect. So the coalition, we are a nonprofit. We do a lot of drug prevention programs in the community, a lot for the youth, but includes the entire community. So when you mentioned the cabinet locks, I'll kind of start there and expand more. But cabinet locks was a resource that we were able to have a part of our program and our whole nonprofit company after we did some surveying in the community and we saw that there was a need, especially after marijuana was legalized as a recreational use for those 21 and older. And we thought, okay, we don't want young hands to get a hold of this, anyone underage. We know that it can be dangerous. Let's think of a way that we can help lock those things up. So we did a lot of surveys. We found that was a concern among a lot of adults. And I mean, you can lock up other things too. That thing's perfect for things like prescription drugs, medications, weapons, substances of any sort. But that was just one of the things we do. We survey every year for the community. We're always asking open questions about like law enforcement, youth involvement, honest questions like, do you feel like it's youth easily access certain substances like marijuana, vapes, alcohol, just so we could hear their feedback. Because if we're seeing a major concern within our own county, we want to be able to address that and provide some kind of resource. So along the way, that's how those cabinet locks came about. With those surveys, of course, we have to have real data to do what we do. And so with that data available to us, that's what helped us infiltrate these prevention based curriculum. So we used to do an all-star program for middle school, 6th grade and 8th grade for a while. We did that for quite a few years. And now it's expanded to Too Good for Drugs. Some of the law enforcement here in town also does Too Good for Drugs. They do it for, I think, 5th graders, I believe. Some more elementary. And then we're doing it for 8th grade at PR Leyva and Alta Vista, but we do want to expand, and it's great because it's for 1st grade through 12th grade. So each curriculum, of course, adjusts with the age. So Too Good for Drugs.
Sorry, let me interrupt.
You're good.
Is that you said a curriculum, so that's like a year-long program?
It's, year-long. The only thing is that, now that I think about it, it's actually semester. Okay. So we'll go through both fall and spring, but it's a total of 10 lessons. So each semester we come fall and spring, we renew through the curriculum book. And it's great because it goes through like life skills lessons at first with the students. It'll talk about like your goals and how to create good habits and friendships, relationships, communication, all of that. Really good stuff, saving money. And then halfway through the course, we switch over to substance use awareness and education. And so the last 5 lessons it's some topic that we're focusing on. It might be alcohol. What does alcohol do to the underage brain? Marijuana, opioids, all of that good stuff. So it goes through some honest questions with them, shows them real brain scan images. We do games and activities that help them see why this can be detrimental to their health, especially their brain development if there is substance use involved at their age. So we do a lot. We've been doing that for a while now just to help educate them, because we know like there definitely is an issue right now within the schools, especially with things like vaping or alcohol on the weekends or going to certain parties, even parties where like parents are present, adults are present, but they're hosting it. So they're like, well, as long as you stay inside, it's safe, we'll allow you to drink. And it's like, okay, it's not just their safety within the walls. It's what is it doing to their body and their brains and short-term, long-term health effects. So that has been a wonderful program. We do a couple others, one that's called Sources of Strength, and then a couple side teen programs, which is Teen Court and Teens in Action. So Coalition as a whole, I know that was a big mouthful, but we do a lot of drug prevention efforts. So we want to keep it going. If you guys ever see us, asking you to take a survey, please do it, because I know surveys are boring and it's so blah, but it helps us to know, like, if there's an issue, that's our job. That's what we do. Right. And, we'll get state or federal grants that help us provide those resources for the community.
And just as an aside, as a person who participates in listening polls, it's really important, the data that you're able to gather. Do you have an open poll right now or survey?
We just ended our last survey. Okay. So I think it ended on May 5th. So that was our New Mexico community survey. We do that once a year. It's always during the spring, March through April. So we should be getting those results back. And then our next survey won't be till probably the fall. And that one's for students only. That's our SFS surveys. So that's for all middle school and high schoolers. They take it in the fall and then the spring. And that way we see their feedback too for their
And that's through the school district?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're not currently doing anything with like the homeschool groups in the area?
Not currently, but honestly, that'd be a great idea to utilize for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. That's a good idea.
I'm a homeschooler. We have a large resource group, the Southeast New Mexico Homeschool Hub. I don't work for them. I just really like them.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
That's I'm honestly a good idea.
Parent. We should adapt that. Like a special slides. I'm sure we can come up with something.
Yeah, it's a pretty big group. So I think it would be beneficial.
Okay.
And then I'm just like sidetracking you totally.
It's all good.
But there's at least 220 kids there that are not getting addressed in
that's
in
a good chunk.
Yeah.
So we gotta address them.
It's a big chunk of, it's like 7% of all the kids in the city.
So maybe I'll work on something this summer.
Oh, that would be cool.
We can't leave them out. We need their feedback.
Exactly.
Good idea.
I agree. Thank you. It's not at all because I want to fill it out.
Yeah,
well,
right.
I have my kid fill it out.
Well, baby. Right. Just wait till next spring. You can do your survey. Now we'll have to come up with something though, for sure.
And then you talked about the cabinet thing as if it might be in the past. Has that completed, that program of giving out the cabinet locks, or is that an ongoing thing?
We still have it ongoing.
Okay.
We reorder them once or twice a year. Have to kind of replenish our inventory.
Cool.
We give them out for free, free at every event. We try to put them out there. But then we also have our radio ads just to let people know, like, hey, we always have these at our office. I don't know how many we have right now. I probably should have counted, but that's okay. We always have something, even if it's just a small few or we just had a full order come in. But we started doing it, I want to say like maybe 4 years ago, but somewhat recently. So it's been ongoing for a little bit now, and obviously great success. I have one for myself, some of our coworkers do, just to see how it operates, and works just fine. Use your fingerprint and boom, you're good to go.
Oh, nice.
You can use
biometric.
I don't know how many, but you can use multiple fingerprints, but just for those who are allowed, of course.
Of course. Yeah. So. Sorry to take us back there. I was just like, oh, wait a minute. Was that past tense?
Yeah. No, we still got them. So if you need one.
Will you be at Cavern Fest?
I actually think we will. Last year we weren't, but this year we would like to hold a booth. We're wanting to do, there's actually kind of an early plug about one of our Teens in Action events, but we're wanting to do a community-wide scavenger hunt / treasure hunt.
Ooh.
So there's a grand prize at the end, of course. So it's a treasure hunt, but when we were setting up how it's happening, it's kind of more like a scavenger hunt. So there's steps they need to take care of, clues they find along the way to get to the treasure, versus treasure hunts just like, here's some small clues. Here's a map. Yeah, here's a map. So we'll be posted up there, at least presenting that, so that way the community knows about it. And of course, letting every radio station know about what's going on soon.
Great.
And I have the dates for that, but yes, that's one of our upcoming events. I'm really excited for it because it involves the whole community. We do a lot of teen-based events, but we want to get others involved too, youngins, every age. So
absolutely,
yeah.
And then earlier when we were talking before you started recording, you mentioned there's an event tomorrow.
Yes, so we have an event tomorrow. Teens in Action did come up with it, but it's not exclusive just to teens. So this is for the whole community. It is tomorrow, Thursday the 21st, over at the Beach Pavilion, which is right next to the water park. It's that whole grass area. So we'll be over there with a foam machine. It'll be a foam party.
Oh, that's right. It's to celebrate the end of the school year, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I just read that in my events list.
Yes. Yeah. It'll be a big celebration. It's an end of school bash. So that's why I wanted to open up to everyone, elementary kids as well, and then families. You know, if little kids are going to be there, teens, and then you're going to have the families that are already there at the beach. So they're gonna be like, what's going on? We have foam, we have a DJ, music. We're going to have our own like popcorn machine, probably some candy, waters, all of that. But there will be food in the area, some food trucks. So I believe Curbside Cravings is coming, snow cones, Sarah's jerky, which I love. Oh my gosh, I just want to buy her whole truck worth of jerky. So it's going to be a great event. We'll have some other yard games as well, cornhole, Jenga, fun little things for your family to get involved in. So that's from 4 to 6 p.m. It'll be right after school, 4 o'clock to 6.
That's excellent.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be good.
That'll be super fun. Yeah. I haven't been to a foam party, but I see them a lot.
Yeah. Last time I haven't been till I just went to my first one in October, and that's when it was Fallapalooza. And they had that foam machine there, and that was so much fun, especially with my daughter. So I'm looking forward to it. Yep.
Most excellent. And then what are you all thinking about for summer? Do you have any things that you do with the kids during the summer? Or
yes.
Awesome.
We want to stay busy over the summer. So in June, we have a couple things. So we have that community scavenger hunt / treasure hunt. And let me just make sure of those dates. I believe it's going to be June 15th through the 19th. So it's a week long, just because we want enough availability. We want a lot of people to get involved. It might be a mouthful to explain on here. It might take a little bit of time. So I'll just briefly explain. It'll take about a week because we want adults or youth to all get involved. Some of them might have to work during the work, like 8 to 5 or whatever, Monday through Friday. So you want to make it available for as many people to participate, whether they work full-time, part-time, a student of some sort, be able to find the time to find these clues. So these clues are going to be placed at, I think, 9 or 10 different locations. And it sounds like a lot. But really it's simple. They're going to be at some nonprofits. We'll have those posted once we get the list out there on Facebook. But each nonprofit will hold the clue, and it will have, the message or the mission about that nonprofit, but then the clue to the next place that you go to, the next location. Once you complete it, this is why I'm like, this is more like a scavenger hunt than a treasure hunt, because you have to complete these steps that directs you to the drop box. Once you show that you've hit up every nonprofit, which I believe we're doing that by stickers, you collect all the stickers that you need on your card, you drop it in the drop box at the location, and then we're actually going to do multiple drawings. There'll be one grand prize winner. So whoever will complete the scavenger hunt first. But then, like I mentioned, we also want to make it available to other people to participate. So we'll have like a second place winner, third place, do other little small drawings for all of those that drop their name in. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So that'll be that week of June. Now, that's not necessarily an event. That's kind of like, I don't know, a mix. It's like a campaign / community outreach type of event.
I love it, actually. Yeah, bringing attention to all those different nonprofits along the way. I thought that was really brilliant.
Absolutely. And then our own events, because we want to try to do it every month, will be glow in the dark, capture the flag. We did that last year, I think last March, and it was actually a really good turnout. It went really well. It was just, even with some of the rules we set for the game, you can play capture the flag in so many different ways. And we set this method and somehow like teens got confused along the way. So we're going to do it again in June, but we're going to try to figure out, okay, how can we make this simple but still very competitive? So it'll be glow in the dark. That was a blast last time. July, really excited for July. The only reason we don't have a date yet is we're waiting to hear back for some sponsorship opportunities. We would really love to use the Cavern Theater there on Main Street. But if not, then maybe the new Performing Arts Center over at the high school. So that's why we're still waiting on a date. But I know July, we're wanting to do a community-wide talent show, and it'll be called Carlsbad's Got Talent. So it's going to be a fun event, but it's also going to be a fundraiser. So we want to get all those ducks in a row very, very soon, within the next couple weeks. Once we do, we'll come back, do like an ad with you guys. That way everyone knows, all right, This is the date. This is what you need to do, audition, all of that. So I'm really looking forward to that one because I was passionate about that kind of stuff in high school theater. So it'll be a good event for the community and also be able to show off their talent, their gifts. So yeah.
Absolutely. That's exciting, actually.
Yeah.
I was just thinking recently about like the concept of the battle of the bands and how I haven't seen one in a long time, you know?
Right, yes.
And it was and a talent show is kind of similar, except you can do more talents than just have a rock band or a country band. So Absolutely. I think that's really exciting that you're going to do that. I'll totally be there.
Yay. I'm excited. I will let you know once we get all that. But yes, it's going to be a busy summer, but a fun one. And then we meet with our teens. It's a youth council. We'll have we have a lot of kids in the program, but there's probably about 12 that'll show up to each meeting. And we try to meet once a month for a couple hours, plan out these things, but also come up with like positive messaging for students. I know they're going to be out of school, but we're always trying to prepare. Like, okay, what's something we can do when school starts in August? What's some kind of campaign that we can do that we can get some kind of message out? Because again, we work in drug prevention. We're thinking, how can we get these teens to live a healthier, happier lifestyle? How can we make sure that they, their brain develops to the best of their ability? Because they mentioned they have these dreams, these goals. We want to help them achieve those things. Right. And it's harder when substances are involved, that can mess with your memory, that can mess with concentration, lack of motivation. It can also mental and emotionally, it can cause anxiety, depression. So
it can also lead to traumatic situations that you don't want to be in.
Yes. Yeah. Can be dangerous. Yeah. So life-changing things could happen. And that's why I try to explain to teens. When we did the lesson over alcohol, especially, we played this board game and it's, they're attending a party. And so there's alcohol present at this party and they're basically trying to move around the board. Of course, they're avoiding alcohol. So they're finding strategies on how to say no if a friend asks them, or they're in a sticky situation. How do I get out? Or they're finding someone, so-and-so decided to drink alcohol because they wanted to feel more confident. But instead on the dance floor, they threw up all over themselves. So it has little analogies like that. Like, okay, alcohol will paint this picture that the party scene is just so much fun, and movies and music will do that. But it never shows the real life consequences that are behind it that always weigh heavier than that exact moment. Like someone could tell you and be like, well, I drank alcohol before and it helped take a lot of things off my mind for me. That's why I go to it. But I'm like, but that's so temporary. Yeah. What your mind was off reality for an hour and then you're paying for it for days later. Like your negative consequences are always going to last so much longer than whatever positive high that a substance is going to give you. So we try to make that very clear, especially to teens. I mean, I can say that to adults as well. This affects everyone. I tell the students, I'm like, just because I'm over than 21, okay, if I use, that's entirely my choice. I'm within that legal age, but if I use, I know what it's still going to do to me, like health-wise, mental health, physical health. So it's like I told them, I said, when you turn 21, that's up to you. Right. You're an adult, you make your own choice. So that's when you have to just think for yourself. You're no longer right now thinking for yourself, and because it's against the law, you don't want to get in trouble. But when you do become an adult, think of those things because it really matters. But when we go over that curriculum, it's powerful because it's also, okay, alcohol. If I drink alcohol for the first time at the age 25, okay, is alcohol good for you of any sort? No. But if I drink at 25 versus starting to drink at the age of 15 and going to parties, how does that affect my brain development, and how is that going to affect the rest of my life in adulthood? You hear stories all the time, like close family members or friends that you knew of that started using substances early on, 13, 14 years of age. And, maybe they've been sober for quite a while. They're now in their 30s or 40s, but it's almost like their brain is still stuck in that adolescent age. And that's truly...
Yeah, it takes a lot longer, anecdotally I'll speak, it takes a lot longer to grow up when you've kind of slowed that process down with substances. And so then you find yourself in your 30s and you're learning to process emotions for the first time because you didn't really get to do that when you were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah. And that's why we're passionate. Like a lot of people, when they hear about what we do, they're like, it's like DARE. And if they don't know much about us or detail it, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, okay,
not
the
really,
idea,
no.
but we're not there to just like show you videos to scare you and be like, don't do drugs or you'll die or something like crazy. Like we have passion behind what we do and compassion for the kids. And that's why we're continuing this. And that's why we fight for what we do at the coalition and Teens in Action. Working for a nonprofit, you're always making sure that funding is there so you can continue what you do. And we've had a couple setbacks this year, with government issues here and there that kind of set us back. And we're like, how can we still press on? We don't want to stop because these kids need us, even if it's just one. Sometimes people think that prevention doesn't work or there's no real data that it works, but I see it every day. I see it in their faces. My husband reminds me all the time, when I first started this job, I was like, I feel like these kids don't care. Like they're not listening or no one, they just don't care. And he was like, babe, if even one student walked away and they grew up and saw you later on in life, maybe they're 25 years old and they came up to you at Walmart and they're like, hey, you used to teach whatever. He was like, don't you think that would be worth it? Like if they told you that it changed their whole perspective and they accomplished their goals, motivated towards some career, then I'll be like, yeah, okay, it is worth it. Even if it is just one.
And I think that's a big part of it is that it robs your motivation so completely. Mm-hmm. And you feel like you're coping with your problems, but really you're creating more in the long term. Yeah. That's one of the things I love about your PSAs is that you give people other ways to cope with things.
Yeah.
Like I find them very uplifting.
Absolutely.
Because exercise is so good for us. Journaling is so good for you. It like really helps you, and you don't get caught in that like mind spiral that might lead you to look for a substance to help you cope instead. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I love this.
We connect mental health with substances a lot because sometimes it can go vice versa. Maybe someone wasn't battling with mental health issues before, like anxiety, depression, anger, any of those. Maybe they started using substances, but after using it caused those things. But then there's vice versa. There's people that are going through something mentally. They're highly stressed. They're anxious. They're depressed. So then they turn to substances to help them. And of course, we see it both ways. We're very aware of that, but it's a major issue nationwide. And even myself, like I personally and I'm very open about this stuff. It doesn't bother me. Like I know personally, like I do deal with a lot of anxiety, but I've noticed recently my morning walks that I go for every day, it really does help. Like people that are like, no, you really should just go outside and go for a walk. Like I know that it's not going to be an all of a sudden kind of cure like these substances, right? We're looking for something quick, but the thing about these quick fixes like certain substances, it lasts such a short period of time. And then the damage it does afterward lasts so much longer. It's Absolutely. Like, it's just not worth it. That's why we had to get that message out there. Like stick with the long healing process, talk to someone about it. Like a counselor, a therapist, school counselor, go for walks outside. And know it sounds so cliche, but truly go for a walk, go outside, listen to some music, draw or write in your journal. If you don't know what to write down, then draw it out. And it did. Like, no one's going to find, I don't know, like, don't be afraid. Just don't find a healthy way to cope. There's so many ways. And yes, there's medications. There's all other things out there for sure. Spirituality, generosity. We have the whole wellness wheel through Sources of Strength. There's so many ways to cope with what you're going through. But I hope you find that. And everyone's different. You find what works best for you. But I'm telling you, don't turn to substances, because it truly does make things worse. And we want the best. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
sorry, I talk a lot.
No, that was great. I mean, it is kind of the point of the interview, right?
Right.
And I'm just, I'm in my 50s, and I had to overcome the accidental trauma that I exposed myself to as a teen who is chasing quick fixes.
Yeah.
And it took 20 plus years to get my life truly like back on track, pursuing my dreams. And I just, it's like, you don't think about that as a kid. You don't think about the consequences of your actions, but you really need to think it out. I feel like one of the greatest things I could have learned in my youth was the cost benefit analysis. Like, simply say, okay, this is the thing I want to do. What are the benefits of it? What are the long-term effects of it?
Yes.
Is it worth it? Had I done that, I would have said no to a lot of things I said yes to.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel, and I relate to that. I wasn't in my teens, but probably early 20s. Yeah. I was involved in, there's alcohol, there's marijuana. This was like a decade ago, but yeah, that's same there. I know that's a personal story, but that's my testimony, is like, at that time, that's what I turned to. So I'm not just like pulling this information from, just real data, but like, this is coming from real stories from individuals. Like, we've been in this spot before where, no, really, I tried it. Like, I was going through a lot at the time or something, and I turned to the party life, and guess what? It worked out for such a short period of time, and it actually made me more sad. So I don't care. And it caused some health issues. I don't care about that lifestyle anymore. I tried, and I saw what it did for me, and it didn't do much other than probably hurt me more. So, that's the heart of what we do. We don't want people hurting, and we know I know this goes back to the whole community instead of just Teens in Action, but we know that there's some alcohol, definitely some heavy alcohol use within our community, at least from what we see in our survey. I mean, this isn't just like opinion based. This is like, no, there's real data. Alcohol issues here and concerns, and I totally get that, and we want to help in any way, and that's why we're continuing what we do. So, if you guys need resources, I mean, the coalition has it in every way, shape, or form, for adults, for teens, for young kids. It hits so many areas: your physical health, mental health, emotional health. Just ask. We probably have some kind of resource. And if we don't, we know a lot of people that do. We're friends.
And you probably have some of those resources on your website?
Yes.
And where would we find that?
So our website is carlsbadcoalition.com. Coalition, COALITION. So .com, you'll be able to find it there. Read about us, have different tabs. You'll read more about Teens in Action too, in case I missed anything. But if you're ever wanting to know when our next events are and you're not much on social media, utilize our website.
Or if somebody wants to make a donation.
Yes, we have a donate button.
Excellent.
Somewhere on the front page. You'll find it. It's probably
Every
at the
good
top.
charity does, right?
Yeah.
Every good nonprofit has a donate button right up, right in the front.
Yes. If you would love to donate or looking for a way to give, that will actually help us tremendously, especially for when we do free events. For us to be able to do free events, we got to have some money to pull it off. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that we should talk about, Hannah? Because we're almost out of time.
Man, I feel like that's it for now. But I'm going to have more later, so we'll just come back later.
I love that. I love that. I look forward to the next time.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Hannah, and thank you, everybody, for listening.
You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.